Chicago, HBO presents One Night Stand.
In straight talk, I have to tell you, in Arizona, we have so little water, the trees chase the dogs. But it's a great place to visit, and I'm glad you're all here today. And thank you all. Thank you, my friends. And humbled by the opportunity to spend time in the company of heroes. I would remind you, it doesn't take a lot of talent to get shot down. I was able to intercept a surface-to-air missile with my own airplane. The only ethnic jokes you can tell in American politics today are Irish jokes. And somebody will explain to me why that is, but the following story took place in New York City. There was the bar was empty, and there was one guy sitting down at one end, another guy sitting down at the other end. Finally, this guy gets up, walks down to the other end of the bar and sits down next to the guy. He says, "Where are you from?" He says, "I'm from Ireland." He says, "Really? Me too." He says, "Well, where are you from in Ireland?" He says, "I'm from Dublin." "Well, I'm from Dublin. Have a drink," you know. And went on there, slapping each other on the back. And the guy says, "Well, where'd you go to high school?" "I went to St. Mary's." "I went to St. Mary's." "Where?" You know. Anyway, there's noise going on down there, and this guy walks into the bar and says to the bartender, he said, "What's all that commotion down at the end of the bar?" And the guy says, "It's just the O'Reilly twins getting drunk again." But the officers' club at the bar having a Coca-Cola, as most fighter pilots did in those days. And there was a really very old, senile-looking guy standing next to me. He looked a lot like Commander O'Hara, as a matter of fact. He had one stripe on his sleeve, which, as you know, is a rank of ensign, which is the lowest rank you can have and still be an officer. And I said, "How long were you in the Navy?" He said, 37 years. And I said, "Really?" I said, "You were never promoted?" He says, "No, I was never promoted." I said, "Why?" He said, "I was based at the 1st Squadron at Guadalcanal." He said, "At Henderson Field, every night, one Japanese airplane, they called him Washing Machine Charlie, used to fly over our field. It was just a harassment raid. But the siren would go off, I'd have to get out of my tent, get into my airplane, start the engine, sit there. Pretty soon the all-clear siren went off, and shut down the engine of my airplane, go back and get out of the airplane and go back to bed. It was killing me. I wasn't getting any sleep, and it was awful. And anyway, I solved the problem. I went out in the jungle and I caught this monkey. I trained this monkey that when the siren went off, he'd come out of the jungle, get into my airplane, start the engine, sit there, and then when the all-clear siren went off, he would shut down the engine of my airplane, get out of the airplane, and go back in the jungle. It was wonderful. So I was sleeping like a baby. It was wonderful. Well, sure enough, one night, it was not Washing Machine Charlie. It was a real Japanese air raid. I came out of my tent just in time to see that monkey taken off in my airplane. I said, well, I can certainly see why you're not promoted. He said, "That's not what makes me mad. The monkey retired as an admiral last night." I think we had the opportunity of serving with that monkey. I'm not sure. But anyway, begin by asking your sympathy for the families of the state of Arizona. Because Barry Goldwater from Arizona ran for President of the United States. And Morris Udall from Arizona ran for President of the United States. And Bruce Babbitt from Arizona ran for President of the United States. And I from Arizona ran for President of the United States. Arizona may be the only state in America where mothers don't tell their children that someday they can grow up and be president. This is a failure. The thing that cost us the election, my dear friends, was spending and corruption. Spending and corruption in Washington. We Republicans came to power in 1994 to change government, and government changed us. We began to value power over principle. And so we ended up with spending money like a drunken sailor, as I used to say. Although I never knew a sailor drunk or sober with the imagination of some of my colleagues. By the way, I say that a lot on the stump. You know, I recently got an email, seriously, from a guy who said, "As a former drunken sailor, I resent being compared to members of Congress." They'd just come back from a trip to Iraq, where, by the way, the only danger I was in was from a hostile press. But anyway, every 3 years they would have to renew that whatever it is, to prove that they're still working here. I didn't get this cold in South Carolina. So I think we're clear.
Each of those has like 2 or 3 different plans. It's very, very, it's hard to understand.
It certainly is. And I think they intended it that way. Obviously, I have to come back to the City of Flowers because there's at least 50 people that want to ask questions, and I am required to depart. And besides that, I saw you dozing off, sir. After I lost the primary in the year 2000 here in South Carolina, I slept like a baby. Sleep 2 hours, wake up and cry. So,